Hey guys, Jess with Fall Welcome Wreath. All right, we are back to finally finish this wreath. I know it's been a little while. Summer's been very busy, but we are ready to finish this. I'm ready to do this. We're all ready to do this. So, I attached my bow already. So this is in here, and then I attached my sign. But the rest of the things that you see in here are not glued in yet. I do have like these pumpkins. I have 1, 2, 3 pumpkins. Let's see this one right here. You'll be able to see stuff as I turn it. Those are not glued in yet. I just placed them so that I know what I want to do with them. I do have 3 of them. A lot of times, we got a little mesh stray. A lot of times with design, the power of 3 works out. I can't really explain it. It has something to do with like symmetry and like triangle-ness. But 3 works good. So odd numbers. So we have these 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take these. I have these dark green leaves right here that I really like the way that looks. And then I'm gonna put one of these green sunflowers right here on top of that leaf. So I'm gonna glue the leaves down first. And then in the ones that don't have these pumpkins, I have these really pretty, I think they're mums, please correct me if I'm wrong, in this nice golden color in the red, which brings out the tones in the sign as well. I do have some extra leaves. I do have some extra florals I can throw in there, but that is the plan. I just realized I have to put something in the middle here. I don't think that'll work. I think that's too small. So I'm gonna have to grab pine cone or something to throw in there. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my leaves. So let me go grab my glue pot. I had it plugged in so it can get nice and melty. You guys have seen me talk about this before. It looks like this. It's by Bonder, but different brands make them. What you do is you stick your hot glue sticks right into that glue pot, and it heats up. And then the glue, when you go to use it, is liquid, like it would be in a hot glue gun, except you can just dip your items like this right in there. So I'm just putting some hot glue on that leaf. I am gonna stick it, a flower head on there, like I said before. So I'm not really like, like stuffing it too far down into the wreath. I'm gonna take this, I'm pushing the sign down a little bit so I can put that leaf in. I don't want it sticking like all the way out because it's gonna hide the embellishments behind it. But I wanna make sure that it is secure. We're gonna do the same thing with this one up here. Just like I talked about odd numbers a moment ago. We have 5 leaves. So I'm just putting it in there, making sure that it sticks to the mesh, sticks to the sign a little bit. I always make sure that I use Gorilla Glue brand hot glue, and try not to glue my fingers. I have to do this one still. You guys will have to let me know if you've been enjoying this series. I know that normally I do the same type of design. There's that leaf there if you can see it, with the 10-inch mesh, but this one I did use 21-inch mesh. So here's our flower heads. They did come with stems, but I just have that little nub right there. So I'm just gonna very carefully get some hot glue on there, trying to make sure that I don't get my fingers. I'm actually gonna wait on that. I'm gonna set up my hot glue gun because I feel like I'm going to either burn my fingers when I dip it in or get too much hot glue on there. So I will turn my hot glue gun on. And in the meantime, let's stick in our pumpkins. So these are pumpkins that I got in like a mesh bag from Hobby Lobby. It came with like probably 10. What I always do when I use foam items is I will take a leftover stem, poke a hole since this is foam, throw some super glue in there and let it dry overnight. That way it just kind of gives it something more to stick to. Sometimes foam does not really adhere well to other materials. I don't know if it's because it's like, kind of like a plastic type of thing or what. And some of my wreaths go to hotter climates. So even though it's cold here in Michigan, it might not be cold wherever this is hanging. And the idea of one of my embellishments like melting off of somebody's door is not something that makes me feel very good. So we're just gonna stick this back in here, just like that. Okay, so then my hot glue is settling in on those embellishments, so we're leaving them alone. I am gonna go around and start adding in all of these. I think they're mums. I'll have to look. It came on a bush from Hobby Lobby. But we're gonna put these every other one. We're not gonna like stuff them in too far because I don't want it to look like it's like, you know, too smushed in. Even though the profile view is always very good with my wreaths, because I do add so much detail. At the same time, I want to make sure that the details are seen from the front of the wreath as well. Oh, I did not put this in the right spot. Let me try to get this out. All right, good. It was still wet. Yes, I did not put this in the right spot, this pumpkin. I spaced them out purposely with like, because I had, so if you guys remember, on the outside ring of our wreath, there are 12 ties, which means 12 spots for ribbon and mesh. So since there are 12, that means that you need 12 things to put in those ribbon bundles. And it's kind of funny. You're always using math, right? Thankfully not super hard math, calculus or geometry necessarily when you make wreaths, but you're making sure that if you have 3 pumpkins, all right, so 12, you know, minus 3, right, is how many of something else you need. So whether it's mums or hydrangea or whatever else, I like to cover up the pipe cleaners that I use to attach my elements, and that includes putting some florals or different things like that. So I'm just going around, I'm putting every other color of these florals in here. They did come on a bush. I'll have to find that for you so I can show you what, oh no. So I did get a little bit of glue on this leaf. What I'll probably do now, since I did that, is it will unfortunately stay discolored. So let me just, it's frustrating when that happens. I'm just gonna rip it right out of my wreath. Unfortunately, I should have been more careful. But what happens is, see, there's just this little tiny dot of hot glue. It will never come off, unfortunately. Some things that you get hot glue on in your wreaths, like say you get a little bit of hot glue strings on your sign, you know, you can wait until it dries and then, you know, kind of put like a hair dryer. There you go. See, you never knew it happened. You can put a hair dryer to kind of melt some of the hot glue strings off. But I knew that leaf, unfortunately, that hot glue was not going to come off there, and it was going to look not so pretty. Everyone knows that we use hot glue to attach our elements, but we kind of want to, it's kind of like you don't know what's going on behind the curtain, right? Yeah. All right, so we have a few more here. Even though these florals that I'm putting in right now are going to be underneath the ribbon tails, I still include things in there because I don't want the ribbon tails to move in the wind and there be nothing there. So it's not how we do things around here at Peekaboo Wreaths. So we're gonna stick some under there, even though most people can't see them, but I know they're there. My customer, when they get it at the wreath, they hopefully will love the attention to detail and appreciate that as well. And my customers that are repeat customers, they have definitely learned to expect a certain level, and I take pride, you know, just like anything else, take pride in your work. You know, you want to deliver your very best for your customers. And there we go. All right, so my hot glue gun should be heated up now, so I'm gonna go put a little dab of hot glue on the back of these sunflower heads. And I'm gonna be able to turn that hot glue gun off because we don't need it anymore. So as you see, I put some hot glue on there. I'm gonna make sure that I don't glue myself and that I don't put any glue on the bow. I'm just gonna push them down a little bit so that they connect, but as it dries, it will make a tighter bond with that. All right, so we have this. We could stop here, but I don't want to. I wanna keep going. I do have, some more of these green leaves, which is a little bit of a lighter shade than that, but it matches the sunflower. So let me count how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did have 12, but then I had ripped that one out. So, let me think. Let me go find another one. So this is the bush that had those poppies on them. Let's see what it's called. It just says Fall FB1771. As you can see, I just cut those off. This would really be pretty for like a floral arrangement too. All right, let me go grab one more of those leaves real quick. One more of those leaves. All right, so I'm just gonna put one of these leaves behind each element. So whether it's a pumpkin or flower, I'm just gonna put one of the leaves under like that. And we have a couple of the bigger ones. And then we're gonna put the lighter ones under there too. So since I just only have 2 of these bigger ones, I'm gonna kind of space them appropriately. I see that I have the pumpkin and then that, I don't know, are these mums or are these hydrangeas? What are these? Anybody know? Let me know in the comments below. So I'm just gonna stick this one underneath the pumpkin, and then I know that that's where the dark green one is on the one side, so that's the dark green one should be on the other side. We like to keep things pretty symmetrical. It's more pleasing for the eye. Sorry if you were seeing the top of my hair in that camera angle. Even though I have fall in my mind, I have summer here. Summer here in Michigan. We're definitely enjoying the summer weather still. Although today was in, I think it was like in the low 80s, which is nice. I've definitely learned or been reminded this summer that humidity makes a difference in how it feels outside. We've had lots of humidity going on this year. We've had some effects from the wildfires that were in Canada. We had some like weather advisory, smoke advisory warnings going on, which was not fun at all. In case you guys didn't know, I have 2 little boys. We're very active. We love being outside. We have a lot of family that lives nearby. We have a lot of kids that live nearby. So we're outside a lot. So being told in the summertime that you can't go outside because of the weather is not fun. Okay, so, oh, the ones underneath the bow. I was like, what am I missing here? I knew I counted that correctly, I should say. So I'll take these ones underneath the bow. And then I do have some pretty little floral pieces that I want to use in here too. And then I have to get some kind of pine cone for that. So the reason that I included these leaves too is because it does help tie in the green theme that we have going on with our mesh and with our ribbons and with our sign. So let me get, okay. So our next step here is I had this pick and it had like these really pretty, like they almost look like dried florals. And I pulled it apart into 4. And I'm going to go around the wreath and I'm going to add these in as well. So some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, but I'm just kind of dip them in my glue pot. It's a little messy, and I'm just gonna start adding them around the wreath. It's gonna give a little bit of texture too, which is fun. I've been waiting to use these. I've been waiting for the right time. The time is right. So let's add these in. Just trying to make sure that I'm getting a good connection on those. Connection spot, I don't want them falling out. So I'm pushing them into the wreath, but not so far that they're getting sucked in, as you can see right here. So I did one of the bigger ones, and then I did a floral, and then I did an orange section. So let's do this. What's my next one? This one here. I was losing track of what was on the top and what was on the bottom here. And that can happen sometimes. Okay. So I'm kind of using a pattern, kind of not. I mean, we're doing our best, but we're adding a lot of stuff into this wreath. Those are really pretty. Okay. The bigger ones. And my glue pot is kind of warming up. I mean, not warming up. Opposite of warming up, cooling down. I'm kind of losing my ability to get hot glue in here, so it might have to be done here today, and then or turn my hot glue gun on. That would be a good choice. Maybe that's what I'll do. So I'm just kind of like lifting up my leaves so that I can make sure that I'm getting a good connection on the wreath itself. Alright, let me plug my hot glue gun in. Okay. And in doing that, I turn my light off. There we go. Alright. Let's get some. So we have the big flower one, now let's get the little flower one in. These are really nice because they have like twigs in them, they have leaves. You know, it adds just like a different feel. Kind of like a dried feel to it, which is really pretty. And really cozy for fall. I have an orange one here that I'm going to be getting in. Just picking up florals a little bit, putting that underneath, and then giving it a turn. You have to let me know what kind of fall, are you a wreath maker? What kind of fall wreaths do you like? Let me make sure I'm not missing any. Just kind of lifting it up and putting it down in there. Do you like more natural wreaths? Do you like more glamorous wreaths? try to make a variety. The last wreath that we did was like a leopard fall wreath, which is fun. I try to make at least one of those each year. Just lifting up that leaf and getting those under there. I have to put the ones underneath the bow. I'm looking around and it looks like let's see. Looks like I missed one somewhere. Let me see. 2. Let's see. How many do I have under there? I have, let's see, only one more to put under there. It's possible I miscounted. It is possible. Before I take my pictures, I will make sure that I go back around and make sure all the stuff is in there. I'll be able to tell because when I go to take a picture, I'll realize that it looks like unbalanced because something's missing somewhere. So let me see. I do have 3 left here. Let me see. We have the 3 around the signs. Let me see what I add missing here. This will be really pretty. Let's see. See if I can get that leaf to move just a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks good. Just need a little something. I'll put another one on the other side. Let's put a symmetry. Let's see if I can get that leaf to move just a little bit. There we go. Make sure we were careful because we didn't want the glue to get on the leaf there. Okay, and I have one more to go to the top. And then I just need to get a pine cone for the top of that bow. For the center of the bow, I should say, not the top. And then we're gonna be all done. So let me see if I can get a little bit of space, a little bit of glue right there on the top. All right, and I think we're done. Let me go here. Let me do the pine cone while we're at it. Let's just do that real quick. Grab a pine cone. Perfect. Hot glue on there. All right, just put a little bit of hot glue right there. Just to get my pine cone. There you go, and we are done. Calling it done. This wreath measures about 28 inches. I like that it's got lots of movement. It's got a beautiful bow on the bottom here. It's got lots and lots and lots of detail. And there we go, we are done. So it will be listed shortly in my Etsy shop over at Peekaboo Wreaths. And technically it's etsy.com/shop/Peekaboo Wreaths. So there you go. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.